僕が嘘をついた. Chapter 4, I Told a Lie. Well, that's not ominous at all. Hello everybody, this is YSGuru from Japan Gaming. Welcome back to this very interesting story-based Japanese sort of mystery, murder, whodunit, classic old horror game. Want to thank you for joining me again. I've got a lot of positive feedback on this game, so I'm glad some people are liking it. Some people really wanted to see the whole thing, like word for word. And yeah, I originally thought about doing that, but it just wasn't really all that exciting. And I feel like summarizing is a little bit better, but I don't know, if there's enough interest, I could always upload the entire game with all dialogue. But here in the beginning, basically our hero Takano-san was talking about what happened in the previous episode. If you missed that episode, make sure to check it out, where we were exploring Maria's house and we found a corpse hidden underneath her house. And now the one of the head doctors here at the hospital is calling us and telling us we need to wrap up our counseling because we have only 1 week left. So basically they're gonna, let Maria go 1 week from now in the hospital. So our hero here is a little troubled because 1 week to solve this mystery, and of course he really needs Maria's help to know exactly what happened. With this triple murder, his father was murdered, and Maria's parents were murdered, everybody at the house. And so he needs to figure out these clues here, which he just mentioned, the kakera, the shards that he found, and the Maria's personality, the parts about Maria, and also why his father was at the house, and what happened to his father, why his father was even there. So these are those 3 shards of broken something that we found. One of them has the name Maria written on it, and that's the one that she used to try to kill herself in the opening sequence, if you remember the first episode. So where did she get these, and what's the point? Next is the question of the people inside Maria. There's Set, Osiris, and Horus. There's those 3 for now that somehow change and take control. Set being the violent one there in the upper left. Osiris being the more intelligent and kind one. Isis is mentioned, but I don't think Isis has come out yet. And here's another point. Maria painted this picture at school, and whenever she sees it, it seems like Set comes out. And then with the flower, also one of them comes out. And one more thing, we found this key. This mysterious little key was found with the body of Takano's father, the corpse we found in Maria's house underneath that was buried there. This little key was with it. It didn't really show that key when I did the exploring, but apparently we picked it up. And then, of course, finally the book on Egypt as part of this mystery. The Egypt mythology. Oh wow, so I can actually look at it here. So we've got Egypt, Osiris, Horus, Sept. We got all the basically information on each. I don't know all of this. There's a lot of complexity with this story, but in the Osiris myth, Set, he is the usurper who murdered and mutilated his brother Osiris. And Osiris's sister/wife is Isis. And Isis reassembled his corpse and resurrected her dead brother with the help of the goddess Nephthys, and the resurrection lasted long enough to conceive his son and heir, Horus. So that's where Horus comes in. Horus sought revenge on Set, I'm not sure why, and many of the other ancient Egyptian myths describe their conflicts between Set and Horus. But you can look that up online. It's a really complicated story, about Egyptian gods and the way Egyptians view the creation of the world. Ra, the sun god, supposedly is the one that created the world, and from him Osiris and Amenhotep and some of these others came about. I guess maybe not Amenhotep, that's just one of the pharaohs. So there's Osiris, Isis, Set, and Horus. I guess those are the four main ones in this story. But yeah, I still don't know if, the spirits of these Egyptian deities are actually inhabiting Maria's body, or if Maria just snapped and she developed these personalities based on these Egyptian gods when her father was reading her the stories of these Egyptian gods. But yeah, here's the part of the story where they ripped Set apart, and then Isis, not the terrorist group of course, but Isis put him back together, and he gave birth to Horus. But I'm not sure why Horus and Set would have conflicts all the time. Horus is the owl, and Horus seems to be the real crafty one, being all clever, trying to edge us on in this game, when Maria turns into Horus, and Set is the violent one, which I'm assuming is the murderer, and Osiris is the one that helped. If you remember, I think Set was trying to kill Maria himself, and Osiris was the one that helped. Yappari otou-san, anata no tsumi ga omoi. So something about his father's sins are very deep, is what that says. So there's something, something that his father was involved in this whole event. Another phone call. Dang it. Turn that phone off. Hi, Takano desu. Yo. Ore da. It is me. Oh, it's Honda. Our friend from Street Fighter 2. I don't know why this guy keeps calling. He's really interested in everything that's going on with the Maria case. And I'm not sure if that means he has something to do with it or, what. But this game is kind of interesting. They've set up these different characters, and you got kind of guessing who is the villain. So after talking to that other guy, he didn't say anything interesting for a while. I made a cut there, and the nurse came in, our inflatable blow-up nurse here has come in to chat. I don't know, I'm kind of suspicious of this nurse, to be honest. She keeps saying that Maria is attacking her, the violent version, but I wonder actually if she's attacking Maria, and Maria is defending herself with the Set version. Changing into Set and then defending herself as Set, the violent personality. The nurse is asking about the music box here, that I got from Maria's house, and I chose the option not to give her any information. So I didn't tell her that it belonged to Maria or anything, or that I brought it for her. But yeah, we have no time to be messing around, so I'm gonna go to Maria's room and take the Auruguru, or the music box, to Maria because she requested it. So let's see how she reacts. Yeah, ohayo Maria-chan. Ohayo gozaimasu, sensei. Are, sensei, sono te doushita desu ka? What's wrong with your hand? Did something happen? But sensei, today you're looking really, really pale today. It's like, I'm fine, I'm perfectly fine. Boku wa uso o tsuita. I lied. He is talking to his inner thoughts here. He's gonna lie. We're not gonna tell Maria about what we found in her house with the corpse buried underneath. But we're gonna give her the music box, as you can see there. YSGuru, ありがとうございます。この曲が君のお父さんとお母さんを作った。I guess it's a melody from her parents, huh? I didn't know you could make your own music box, but apparently you can. And make your own tune with it. And she said, for a long time she wasn't sure where it was. But, we found it there in the drawer, the locked drawer, I guess. Oh no, sorry. She doesn't know where the key is. There's a secret compartment. Kagi soieba. Sorry guys, I overstepped my translation there. She was talking about the key, not the music box itself, but there was a key that goes to the music box, and there's a little hidden compartment in the music box. And of course, I have that little itty-bitty key, so the choice is, should I tell Maria about it or keep it a secret? When I do these choices, I'm gonna be as much of a hero as I can here, so I'm just gonna tell her about it, that I found the key. So here it is, this little key that I found, but I'm not telling her about where I found it. I found it with the corpse. Takano found it with the corpse of his father buried in the dirt. So I guess we'll give her this little key, and she's curious about what's inside. Kono kagi sabite. So it's got a bunch of rust on it. It's all rusted, and so it's probably akenai ne. Probably won't be able to open the secret compartment inside. Zannen ne. Because the key is all rusted and probably won't open it. But Maria's just happy to finally have the music box back. The music box is a precious memory from her parents. Once again, I'm not sure if these choices matter or how many endings this game has. If there's multiple endings and I get a bad one, I might actually do another long playthrough if people really want to see, all the dialogue between the characters. But honestly, a lot of it is just repetition, and it's not real exciting. But it does paint a very deep story. That's what makes the game fun. Is it's a digital novel, and having all the dialogue makes it like reading a mystery book. A picture book that's a Sherlock Holmes style mystery. So Maria here is talking about a kind of godfather that she has. When her grandmother died, her grandmother was taking care of her when her parents were gone at 5 years old. And then her grandmother died, and then this priest guy, who's a close friend of the family, kind of, took over as her, kind of a legal guardian. And Takano here, our hero, is offering to go visit him and maybe talk to him. Maria's wondering about the Egypt book, if it was there or not. I'm going to say yes, that I found the book on Egypt. So she's kind of excited about that. She's asking, where did I find it? It was in the study, right? Number 2. Oba-san no heya ni atta yo. I guess that's her grandmother's. It wasn't in the living room. I'm just trying to be truthful as I can with all these choices, in the hopes that that'll give us the best ending, the good ending. You know, I don't know if there's one where Maria dies, or if I die as the main hero, or the bad guy gets away, you know, whoever's the criminal here. So she's happy that the Egypt book was there and that we found it. So he's like, yeah, later we can talk about that. But for now you should rest, and I'm going to go visit this priest, her godfather, whatever, her kind of somebody who has her best interests in mind, in other words. At least hopefully. That's how she described him. So this will be an extra character. But yeah, they're adding characters, and so, you know, we're wondering kind of who done it. Of course, Horace admitted he knew that corpse was in her house. So I'm thinking Horace or Set, since Set is the violent one, are the ones that murdered his father. The question is why, you know, and who murdered her parents, because it certainly wasn't her. So this is Levi. I guess he was originally from France or something, and you know that's how he knew the family, because remember, Maria's mother was French. She was not a Japanese. So she's kind of mixed. Her father is a Japanese man, and her mother was from France, and they moved to Japan. And this guy moved to Japan as well. So we talked to him for a while. He just talked a little bit about Maria and her past, and I didn't really glean a lot of information about it. But yeah, I need to figure out something with this key and the music box. So I'm debating if I should, you know, even though it was kind of rusty, maybe I can get it to work. And there must be something very important hidden in that music box by possibly the grandmother, hidden in the secret compartment. If you've never heard of such a thing, like if you watch my other series, I did another horror series, Japanese ghost stories, on my channel called Twilight Syndrome. If you like this game, I highly recommend checking out Twilight Syndrome. It's a very similar concept to this style of game, kind of story-based ghost stories. And also in that one was a music box story, the haunted music box. And the music box had a secret compartment in it. So we're going to go into Maria's room here. He did knock on the door, but she's sleeping, so here's our chance. So we can look inside and maybe see what it is and not bother Maria with it. Oh! Nani? Koso koso yatten da yo, sensei. The way she's saying sensei there is very like slang and kind of rude. Instead of the full sensei, it's sensei. Sensei じゃなくて sensei. And from the shock of her being awake, I dropped the music box on the floor. Ha 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 ha. Okay, it's definitely not Maria, so... Maria was sleeping, but we've got one of the other personalities noticing us sneaking around. Kimi wa? And of course we ask, who are you? Dare tomo? Who do you think I am? Oh great. So we got Set, Osiris, and Horus as the third option. Let's choose Osiris, since Osiris is the more kind one. Oshirisukai? It's like, do I really seem like that kind of person? This dark... let's say Horus. Horus is the sort of crafty one. Yatto wakatta na. Yep, I got it. So this is Horus. Horus is kind of like messing with us. He's like, you have to ask every time to figure out who it is. Kimi wa nani o takuranderu nda? Takuramu? Kashi koto yu. So Takano is saying, what is it you're planning, Horus? What is your long-term scheme? Because it seems like Horus is scheming something and Horus is playing dumb. So we opened the thing here while Horus was chatting, and Horus is saying, you better get out of here quick and go read that letter. There was a note inside, or else I'll wake Maria up, and then the jig is up, and then she'll know what you've been up to. So yeah, Horus is even threatening us here. So this is the note. There was a note in the secret compartment in the music box. But yeah, I'm not too happy with Horus right now. What is this? It cannot be! It cannot be. What? Why? I saw the letter. Why? Picture of the key. That's his father, who we found in the house. The parents. Maria's parents. Young Maria. Oh, come on. You're not even going to show me what was on the note? What's wrong, Jun? I saw the light was on. What are you doing here so late? Looks like you've dropped something. It's nothing, it's nothing. So you shouldn't work too late. I'm gonna go home early. Before you. Boss! What's wrong? Good work. Good work, you too. Oh, come on. So, I don't actually know what was written there, you guys. And that was the end of the chapter. Once again, I'll skip the credits here. It's really weird they do the credits every chapter. Jikan o kudasai. Please give me some more time. Chapter 5. So remember, we have a time limit now. The guy with the glasses there that's in charge, he said we have 1 week. 1 week to, with Mari, and then she's going to be sent out of the hospital. Oh, what the? While we were thinking about things, Maria came to the door herself. Sensei. Oh, she's talking funny. It's definitely Horus. Again, Maria herself wouldn't leave her own room and come into the doctor's room, I'm pretty sure. By the way, the cut I made there, right after the title for the chapter, was just, each chapter he kind of recaps in Japanese, like everything that went on in the previous chapter. So I'm just cutting out that repetition. Yeah, once again I have to choose. I'm saying Horus this time. Kimi wa Horus ka? Are you Horus? Yeah, Horus is mocking us like every single time. You can't figure it out, huh? You gotta ask. It's like, I'm sorry, it's hard for me to tell, but would you please tell me, are you Horus? Ikanimo. Boku wa Horus. I love that. That's definitely the way a god would talk. Ikanimo. So it's Horus again. Horus is coming to ask us about the letter and what we're planning on doing with the information contained within. It's like, you've come here to talk about the letter? Obasan no tegami no koto. I don't know why it's Obasan. I guess the grandmother wrote some information, maybe about the truth. Maybe she saw something that day and she hid the letter from Maria? I don't know. Because of Maria's trauma? Game wa fair ni yarou yo. She wants, the information. Game? So, minna ga uso i tsuite. So everybody's lying, everybody's telling lies, so this is like a game. I would put the scene in here from Saw. I want to play a game. But Takano says, I'm not playing a game here, I'm seriously trying to figure everything out. But Horus is upset because he's lying and, other people are lying. Everybody's telling lies about what's going on, and so the truth isn't coming out. I'm a doctor, so... I need to be patient with Maria and not cause her overdue stress. That's why I'm keeping some information from her. Because, Horus knows we're keeping the secret about the corpse to ourselves, because Horus is the one that told us about it in the first place. But we're not telling Maria about it, because that would probably cause her shock to be worse. I'm not sure why Horus is coming out now more often. I think Set only comes out when Maria needs to defend herself. Like, he's the violent, killer version of her, and he comes out to defend her, basically. So yeah, I guess Horus was the one that tried to kill Maria to hide everything. Horus is the clever, crafty one. And Osiris is the one that cares for Maria. So Osiris saved her life in the very first episode. So our hero here is a little confused, and he's going to call Nikolai Levy here to see if he can get some more information about Maria and Maria's family. So a very long conversation here with the priest. But we have some interesting information here that I want to leave in. 12 years ago, there was something very odd that happened at the hospital where I'm working. And so he's asking, how old are you? 26. So 12 years ago, I was 14 years old. So he would have been a junior high school student. So he wouldn't have been at the hospital. He wouldn't have heard of the information. And apparently one of his friends died here in the hospital. They were put into the hospital. It was a woman. I don't think it's the grandma or anything. So what was your friend's name? Say, what is it? Uehara Sachiko? Oh, Aonuma. Aonuma. I got the wrong kanji. Aonuma Sachiko-san. Sachiko is quite a popular name. And then, remember 11 years ago, the triple murder happened with Maria's parents and, of course, our main character's father as well. So we have 4 murders happening very close to each other. And one of them was in the hospital here. So our hero's wondering, what are you getting at? Oh, so the death of his friend and this other close family person was a miss. Like a miss, what do you call it? Prescription, or not prescription, but, a mistaken diagnosis. So the hospital made a mistake in their treatment, and the person died. Apparently Maria's father was there. But yeah, so the hospital, 12 years ago there was an incident, and of course this does happen at hospitals even today, where there was some kind of misdiagnosis or a mistake. Maybe patients were swapped, and the wrong surgery was done, or something. The wrong medicine was given, and somebody was killed because of the mistakes of the hospital itself. So now our hero is asking the nurse. The nurse has been in this hospital for 15 years. If she knows of this incident, or if she remembers this incident from 15 years, or 12 years ago, sorry, since she's been here the longest. Soyeba. Do you remember something? So our inflatable nurse here does vaguely remember some sort of incident, but it was actually all a rumor going around the nurse station. So we're thinking about, at the nurse station, the nurses, spread rumors, because that's what nurses like to do when they're bored. So there were rumors about this incident at the hospital. So now our hero, Takano, is going to go to the records archive. So we're starting to connect the dots here in this story. The hospital is somehow related, and Maria is related. Our hero here is related. Everybody is somehow intertwined, all these characters. Sign o onegaishimasu. So I have to sign for the key. I'm getting the key for the archive room. And since, our hero is a doctor who works here, they're letting us use the key. We can research stuff. So I'm just, oh man, but the information's going to be there that I signed out on this key. So whoever looks at this information, somebody's going to know that I signed for the key and I went into the archive room to do some research. So, yeah, that's a bummer. Hopefully nobody reads my signature. And of course we have to return the key when we're done. So, let's head to the archives room and see if we can find out what happened 15 years ago. Or no, not 15, 12 years ago. The nurse has been working here for 15 years. I'm getting the numbers mixed up in my head. The 15 is the number of years the nurse has worked here. 12 years ago is the incident at the hospital. And 11 years ago is the murder of Maria's parents, as well as Takano's father. What? So in order to access the database, I need a password. Even though I got the key finally and I got in here. So where can I get the password? I'm going to go back to the nurse station here, since that's where all the rumors are. And our lovely blow-up nurse will probably help us, I'm hoping. It's like, I'm sorry to keep bothering you about stuff, but do you know the password for the computer? Ara, sensei, you didn't know about that? You know, you should because you work here. Oh well, I'll tell you. The password is K-A-E-R-B, KAERB. Wonder if that has any significance of anything. Tasukarimashita. Right, now we got the password. Boy, you know what? His face looks like creepy there. Even creepier than Maria when she's angry. Okay, so there are a lot of choices like running around. Oh, we gotta choose the password. So make sure you remember it. It was KAERB. I wonder if this password's randomly generated, depending on your playthrough of this game. So yeah, I cut out some stuff of me just running around the hospital, going to different rooms, trying to find out who has the key, and then finally getting the key, and then getting in. But yeah, Aonuma Sachiko, we're going to do a search for her name here in the computer's database. There are 22 entries. Wow. Do you want to see them? Yes. Aonuma Aiko, Asako, Asao, Itaro, Kenji, Taichi, Sachi, Taro, Toshio, Toyo, Namie, Natsuko, Fumio, Yuji, Yugo. So there was no Sachiko. Searching by last name, by the way. In Japan, you know, it's last name first. So Aonuma, those were all the Aonumas in the database. So now we're trying a different criteria. And there's only 8 possibilities that come up. Let's go. None of those are Sachiko either. Do you want to try another query? Yes, I do. So since she died, we're going to look at deaths. Deaths 15 years ago. Girl from 30 to age 50. So we're trying to narrow down our search here. There are only 2 entries now. Aiko and Natsuko. Aonuma. So these were 2 deaths recorded at the hospital. You know, because the one we're looking for is an actual death at the hospital. From negligence, of course. So Aiko was 31, had some problem with white blood cell disease. Natsuko was 48 years old, and she had some cancer, stomach cancer, and those were the cause of death of those 2. But yeah, Sachiko does not appear. Aonuma Sachiko-san. So the data has been erased. Cue dun 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 music. Konna baka na koto. So somebody has erased all the information and all the data about the woman that died 12 years ago from the hospital's mistake. So obviously the hospital is trying to cover it up. You know, cover up their error that caused this lady to die, Sachiko. Wow. And yeah, I don't want to make these videos too long, guys, so I think I'm going to go ahead and pause here. And when we come back in the next episode, I'll go ahead and start right where I left off. But yeah, we got a mystery here. Somebody deleted the data. We need to figure out who deleted this data and why. So the mystery is getting pretty interesting. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next episode, and we'll continue the story from here. じゃあ皆さん、またね。